told him everything. When I finished, he simply said, "I'll call Danny." We met in Luke's garage an hour later. I showed them the photos the doctor had taken of Sadie's burns. The pattern was undeniable. Someone held her underwater in concentrated chemicals. They studied the pictures in silence. Danny, who'd done 5 years in juvie for arson, was the first to speak. "What do you need?" At 2 a.m., we were outside Malik's apartment complex, all 3 of us in black. Luke picked the lock to Malik's unit in under a minute. Malik woke up to find himself zip-tied to his bathtub. 3 figures in black standing over him. He recognized my voice instantly. "You held my daughter underwater. You burned her. Now you're going to tell me what you've been doing to her in that equipment room." The bathtub started filling with water. His muffled screams meant nothing to us. "Those special breathing exercises you've been giving Sadie, the ones that required a locked door, what were they really?" I grabbed his hair. "I'll give you the same amount of time to answer that you gave my daughter to breathe." His head went toward the water. Just inches from the surface, he started thrashing violently. "Please! Please! I'll tell you everything." Danny pulled him back up and Malik gasped for air, water dripping from his face as he started babbling about the breathing exercises he'd been doing with Sadie for the past 4 months. His words came out fast and jumbled as he explained how he'd take her into that locked equipment room every Tuesday and Thursday after the other kids left. Luke held up his phone, recording everything while Danny kept Malik's head positioned just inches above the waterline. Malik's voice shook as he described making Sadie hold her breath while he counted, pushing her limits each time to build what he called endurance. He said she never liked it, always tried to pull away, but he'd grip her wrists tight and tell her it was for her own good. The more he talked, the sicker I felt, watching this man confess to systematically torturing my baby girl week after week. He admitted that during the chemical incident, Sadie had fought harder than she ever had before when he tried to do the breathing exercise in the contaminated water. His voice cracked as he described how she thrashed and kicked, how he had to hold her down with both hands on her shoulders to keep her under. She wouldn't stop struggling, he said, so he held her longer than usual, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 40. He couldn't remember exactly because she was fighting so hard. My hands clenched into fists as I listened to him describe my daughter's desperate fight for air while he pressed her underwater in burning chemicals. Luke's jaw tightened, but he kept the phone steady, making sure we got every word. Malik started crying now, snot mixing with the water on his face as he begged us to understand that he thought he was helping these kids get stronger. Danny yanked Malik's head back by his hair and told him to give us the access code to the equipment room at the pool. Malik immediately rattled off the numbers, 47291, and told us about the key to his personal locker hidden behind the 3rd tile from the left in the men's changing room. He said everything was in there, his training logs, his notes about each kid, everything we'd need to understand his methods. Danny looked at Luke, who nodded, then used more zip ties to secure Malik to the shower curtain rod instead of the tub, leaving him standing on his tiptoes with his arms stretched above his head. While Danny made sure Malik couldn't escape, Luke started searching the apartment, pulling out drawers and checking closets for anything related to the pool or the kids. I stood guard at the window, watching the empty street below while my hands shook from adrenaline and rage. Luke found it in the bedroom closet, a black notebook tucked behind some old swimming trophies. He brought it to the bathroom and flipped through pages filled